John F. Kennedy says, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty."
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of YemmaNation Explores Reading. I'm Mr. Yemma, and I'm an instructional coach in Youngstown City Schools. I'm doing a read-along series where I read aloud books from National Geographic, and today I'm going to read an excerpt from a book called Amazing Plant Adaptations. This book was written for a 4th grade level, but as always, you don't have to be in 4th grade to follow along and enjoy this read-along with me. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Amazing Plant Adaptations. Extreme Plants by Jennifer Boudart. Plants have taken root in almost every kind of habitat on Earth. They grow down low, in ponds and marshes. They grow up high, along mountain ridges. Plants even grow in harsh habitats, such as burning deserts and freezing tundra. Plants have adaptations that help them survive in their environment. The way they look and grow helps them survive. Plants take many forms, from towering trees to tiny bits of green. The following plants have taken adaptation to extremes. The biggest bloomer. The Rafflesia is a rare jungle plant found in Southeast Asia. The Rafflesia produces just one flower, but it's a whopper. This flower grows up to 1 meter across and weighs up to 7 kilograms. The bloom actually smells awful, just like rotting meat. The stench attracts flies that feed on dead animals. The flies pick up pollen as they crawl on the flower. When they buzz to another stinky bloom, they spread the pollen to another plant. Pollen must be transferred between plants for the plants to reproduce. A green giant. The giant sequoia truly lives up to its name. This tree is more massive or has more bulk than any other plant species on Earth. That earns it the title of biggest plant. The giant sequoia's trunk accounts for most of its mass. The trunk on a full-grown tree typically measures more than 6 meters across. Giant sequoias are tall too. They often stand 76 meters tall. A few tower more than 93 meters. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty. Giant sequoias can live a very long time. Many have survived more than 3,000 years. What adaptations help giant sequoias live so long? Their bark is resistant to disease. Also, giant sequoias can grow new bark quickly to cover burns caused by forest fires. When a fully grown giant sequoia dies, it's typically because the tree fell over after the soil became unstable. The most massive giant sequoia is named the General Sherman tree. This tree stands about 84 meters tall and weighs 5.6 million kilograms. Its trunk measures 11 meters across. If the General Sherman were cut for lumber, it would supply enough wood to build 40 houses. Luckily, the General Sherman is protected by laws that make it illegal to cut down giant sequoias. Blast from the past. The creosote bush grows in the deserts of North America. It's a super survivor. In fact, creosote bushes are among the longest living plants on Earth. A creosote bush appears as a ring of bushes growing around an empty center. Each bush in the ring actually comes from the same parent plant, which once grew inside the circle. And each bush is an exact copy of that parent plant. This is the secret to the creosote bush's long life. A single creosote bush can live 200 years. During that time, the bush sends out shoots in all directions. Each shoot grows into a new identical bush. That bush, in turn, produces new copies of itself. Over time, the original plant dies, leaving an ever-expanding ring of daughter plants behind. The parent plant lives on because it has made exact copies of itself. In this way, Some creosote bushes have stuck around for thousands of years. A turbo grower. Bamboo thrives in the warm, wet climates of East and Southeast Asia. Some species of bamboo may be the fastest growing plants on Earth. Bamboos are grasses, but they look more like trees because of their woody stem and leafy branches. And, like trees, some grow very tall. A few species of bamboo reach 40 meters or more. Unlike trees, however, bamboo can grow at incredible speeds in the right environment. The speediest ones may sprout up 60 centimeters in one day. That's 2.5 centimeters per hour. Imagine if the grass in people's lawns grew that fast. A microgreen. Watermeal is the world's smallest flowering plant species. Imagine holding a small grain of sand in your palm. That's how little a watermeal is. Lacking roots and stems, its tiny size and rounded form are adaptations that help it float in large numbers on lakes, ponds, marshes, and streams. One watermeal plant is less than 1 millimeter long and weighs about as much as a few grains of salt. A dozen of the plant's blooms could fit on the head of a pin. A leaf beyond belief. Did you think only frogs can float on lily pads? Think again. A giant Amazon water lily is so large it can support the weight of people without sinking. Its leaves stretch 2.5 meters across. This plant's adaptations help keep it afloat. The weight of its wide, flat leaves is spread out, causing the leaves to float. Air-filled veins also help make the leaves buoyant. Spines cover the underside of each leaf to protect it from hungry fish. Notches along the edge help extra water drain off so the leaf doesn't fill and sink. It's clear some plant species have developed extreme adaptations to survive. Do any extreme plants grow where you live? The end. Thank you for following along with me again today. I hope you all enjoyed this book. I learned so many interesting things about plants from reading this book. Some of the stuff I had never even heard before. For example, the creosote plant from the desert, it's basically cloning itself to be able to live forever. If you want to talk about any of the fascinating things you learned in this book, or any plant facts that you know on your own, please leave your remarks in the comments section. I'd love to hear them, hopefully respond to them. With that being said, I'm going to end today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Tune in next time and watch the next episode of YemmaNation Explores Reading. Thank you. Bye.